I hope everybody is doing good today. It is a beautiful day out here where I'm at this park. I am at the more public park, other than that other place where I could just freely go and chop around stuff. So I really can't do much over here, but I did test this knife yesterday, and it was hot as hell yesterday, hot and muggy, and it was raining on and off, so I didn't get any video, which is a shame, but I did get... How you doing? Good day. I did get some fatwood, and I lit up a little fire. Kind of wish I did get everything on video, but I didn't, so no big deal. But I definitely wanted to do a review. Make sure this paperwork doesn't get flown away. I definitely want to do on this Elk Ridge Evolution knife. Now, there's a huge long name to this knife. Let's see if it's here on this paperwork. It's like the EREM something. It's a numbered name. It's not like a name like it's a wolf knife or it's I don't know, bushcrafter or whatever, but they call this a machete. I don't think it's a machete, personally. I think it's just a really decent... Hey, Don, how you doing on your lunch break? I think this is really decent camp / outdoor knife. And it pretty much surprised me how well it did with the chopping. And, you know, I could see quite a bit of use in camping chores and stuff like that. I did light up a ferro rod just now. I didn't do it yesterday. I used the lighter to light up whatever fat wood I did cut up. But I did use this to shave some fat wood. Not shave, but, you know, do some cutting on the fat wood. And this is a pretty nice knife. I haven't seen too much of this out on the marketplace. I mean, when I bought it, I think I bought it off of eBay, really inexpensive. This is a pretty decent camp tool, boy, let me tell you. It is a Wharncliffe style blade, but I think it would do very well with, you know, skinning game and cleaning fish and, you know, other camp chores. I'm not sure about bushcraft stuff. I mean, I think it's adequate, especially after I was able to do some work with the fat wood here, but not a bad knife, and it runs about $35. So, all right, let me get into the specs. Also, comment below, either now or after the stream, what you got in your pocket. I'm usually carrying my Almarcier, which is my favorite go-to knife, and my Swiss Army knife. I did use those two yesterday. I also am carrying this Workshop field sharpener. I want to always show people that because this is another great tool to have in your backpack, on your person. And I did get a chance to use the Silky Saw yesterday. This is another great tool. Let me take it out of this really crappy ass sheath. I mean, it's made out of plastic and stuff, but yeah, you know, let me open this up. You might see some wood chunks in here. You know, cutting some limbs, you know, I think it's a little bit easier, less effort, less energy to use this. It also comes in 2 positions. But man, yesterday I wish I had everything videotaped, but it was so hot, and again, it was raining on and off, and I didn't want to get my phone wet and anything. But let's go over the specs over here on this bad boy. So the total length of this is 14.75 inch. Okay, decent size. Blade length is a decent 9 inches. So it's a big chopper. It's a big knife. The weight with the sheath is 1.02 pounds. The blade construction, ladies and gentlemen, it is full tang, which is really nice. Fine edge. There is no serrations, half serrations. Okay, the steel here, they say on the paperwork the steel here is 8Cr14, but then on the blade it says 8Cr13. So get it together there, China. I'm not sure which one it is, but the blade shape is Wharncliffe. Handle artwork is green. Do you guys see green? I don't see green. I see gray, but whatever. And it's Micarta. Pretty nice, man. Yeah, Micarta handles. Sheath, I'm going to talk about the sheath. It's okay. It's adequate. But after wearing it for a day in the woods, yesterday, I'll show you a couple things fell apart. Not fell apart, but started coming loose. Hey, Jason, how you doing, buddy? Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Jason. I know Jason said he's busy at work and he just wanted to pop in. Thank you very much, man. I always appreciate it. Type is fixed blade. They're calling this a machete. I don't see this as a machete. I could be wrong, but I know it works as a hell of a camp knife and a chopper, boy, let me tell you, without any issues, without any problems. And the theme is outdoor. All right, I got that crap out of the way. Okay. So, I know I've been in that park that I was yesterday, and there was a stump there that was just all fat wood, and I got most of it. A lot of it was rotted out, but there was one piece. There was one big chunk. This was all one piece. All of this was one big chunk. And I used this with a combination of this to try and get the whole chunk. But I don't, being unhealthy, well, not unhealthy, but with the health issues that I have, being slumped over like that, chopping that stuff. Hey, Isaac, how you doing? Being slumped over like that and chopping, and yesterday it was so muggy and it was raining. I was miserable, man. I was just miserable, but I had a mission. I wanted to get this stuff, But as you can see, all the scratches, I did use this bad boy. Now, I did want it to go into the spot, into the woods again, but it was so hot in there. And me being, with some health issues, I didn't think it was very smart to go in there. I just wanted to stay in the open area. And so this knife is about $35. I think I got it for way less than that on eBay, but I couldn't find this on eBay to post a link of where you could purchase this, or at least take a look. But you can go onto the Master Cutlery website, and you can get, because Master Cutlery owns Elk Ridge, and you can get specs and information on this knife, and it's pretty decent. Now, I have two of these. This one, as you could see, I did try and fix it, but it's you see how that is not nice and flush with the full tang there? But I did buy a second one because they were so inexpensive. I figured I'd just use this as a beater, and the other one will keep as collection, but the other one is like flawless. This one, I had a step on it because it was so curved and not touching the full tang. I stepped on it and then I tightened it up so you could see the marks here. But, there's not too many reviews on this knife. I think I saw one review with one guy on YouTube. So if I go back into the woods again, I think tomorrow, and it's nice, like today is nice, a little sun out, nice and cool, and it's no rain. I will do videos because I definitely want to chop up a huge log. I mean, this was really pretty. It was pretty adequate chopping up the fat wood. This stuff is as hard as a rock, man. Trying to harvest it. Okay, here's the name of the knife if anybody wants to see it. EREMHT001M-BK. So there's no no name, specific name, like I don't know, I'll just call this the Elk Ridge Evolution, but there's no specific name. Hey, True Budget EDC and Prepping. All right, let's give a shout out to True Budget EDC and Prepping. Let's give a shout out to Isaac, the New Backwoodsman. Those guys I talk to all the time, text back and forth. Great people, salt of the earth. You guys should check out their channels. They're good people. All right. Yo. So, hole for lanyard, protruding tang, and just in case you need to bang on something, I would have no problem hitting a tent stake with this. The only thing that kind of, is a little disappointing, I wish this sharpening choil was a little bit bigger, so you could choke up. There's just, as you can see the finger over here, there's just no comfortable way to really choke up on this and do some fine work. It's unfortunate because if there was a bigger sharpening choil over here, you could do a nice choking up over here and do some finer work, in my opinion. But, you know, still, as you could see, you know, you can do some fine work here, a little bit. Hey, Donovan. So I did make a little fire yesterday, and it was pretty cool. I used the front of this. Now, let me explain something. The park that I go to where I can chop up trees and stuff like that, there is an airfield where people fly electric airplanes or gas-powered airplanes or whatever. And these guys wanted space, so they killed a whole bunch of pine trees on purpose. At least that's the story that was told to me. And they're dying. They're just completely dying. So the bark is coming off the actual, you know, the wood of the tree. So I use this to pry everything open. Pretty easy stuff, pretty easy chore. But I did use a part of that bark to put the shavings on there from the fat wood and make a little fire without doing any damage to the floor, the grass, or whatever. But awesome life he grows, got to run. Okay, Don. Don needs to leave. Thank you very much, Don, for showing up, man. You know I always appreciate you, Don. That's Donovan, too, is another guy I got to shout out. I'm always talking to Don. Don is another man, salt of the earth. You got to go check out Don's videos because he has an epic collection. So I always like calling these knives saxes, you know, like ancient sax. These things always remind me. Yes, this is Micarta. I did rattle off the specs in the beginning. They didn't do it very well. Like I said, I own 2 of these. As you could see, that's not very flush. I'll show you over here. It's not very flush. But in no way, when I was chopping, did this handle cause any problems, any hot spots. In fact, I even use this without gloves. This handle, you could see, I mean, I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but they're pretty big. As you could see, it fits so comfortable. And again, the unevenness here, it does not affect anything. I don't remember if my other one, because I have a duplicate of this, I bought 2 of these. I know the other one was done way better, but as you could see, Rich, you could see that you could see right through. So this one wasn't done very well. It went through quality control without anybody looking at it. But the second one that I have, is there a difference between sax and Wharncliffe blades? That's a good question, man, but I don't know. Maybe the sax knife is a little bit more angled, and maybe instead of a curve, it's straight. But historical saxes have some curves. I mean, there's all kinds of saxes out there. I bet you if we were to go back in time and hand one of the, you know, civilians or warriors this knife, they would call it a sax. You know what I mean? Oh, yes, there is. There's a difference between Wharncliffe and sax. All right, man, let me know. You know, maybe when this is done, you put it in the comments there for me. I personally don't think so, but historically, but, you know, again, if we were to drop it off to a Viking, I bet you he'd be like, okay, it's a sax. I don't know. But very comfortable handle. Micarta scales. Steel is 8Cr13. Not a bad steel. I got a nice sharp edge on here. It was very sharp even after I got done chopping. I just cleaned it up yesterday, oiled it, and put it back in the sheath. Now, let's talk about the sheath. The sheath is adequate. I'm not going to rave about it. You know, I mean, I really don't give two shits about sheaths too much, but it is a cheesy sheath, man. I mean, this is no way it's gonna last. Just no way. I mean, this is after one day of wearing it on my hip. It's got a generous belt loop, but as you can see, the strands coming off. You know, look at this over here. See that? The stitching is already coming off, so I got to put some glue on here. Ah, Rich is a wealth of knowledge, man. Just write it all up there, Rich. It does come with a little pouch. I mean, simple stuff. Like here, I got, this is from Tops. I'm using it. And since I don't really trust this pouch, I wrapped the keychain, whatever that thing is called, around the snap over here, which is kind of weird because it's got a decent snap, and then they put it on a shitty, shitty sheath. There is no insert in here, man. None. No insert. It's all flimsy. So there's no plastic insert. But it keeps the blade away from your skin. Not the greatest sheath, but again, it's adequate. Just to keep something on your hip. Now, it's definitely loose. There's nothing tight in here. Even when you snap it, it comes out a little loose. Got to be very careful with this. 35 bucks though, man. But the knife itself is awesome. I mean, I was seriously chopping stuff up yesterday, and I was sticking the blade into the wood, like this. And I would do it over here, man. There's trees right behind me, but I could definitely get busted, if somebody were to come here and see me doing that. So I'm not going to leave any trace or evidence of this knife chopping in one of these trees over here, because definitely worth getting a leather sheath done up for it. I think so. I'm telling you, I like this knife. I definitely got to do a video on this. I'm gonna show you guys. This thing came through with flying colors. I thought, as if you're gonna use it for normal camping, outdoor use, I guess even bushcraft use, I think this knife is phenomenal. I really do, for 35 bucks. You're going to have to really look for this knife in the United States. There's a whole bunch of these knives in Europe right now. On the Master Cutlery website, you have to be a dealer because they're looking for tax IDs. I tried logging in. I wanted to see what their selling price was, but you have to be a dealer, unfortunately, over there. But there was one website that I think I found in America, and I will post it in the description, where you could buy this. I tried checking out eBay. They have a longer version of this. It's like a machete that comes out to here. Almost the same thing, except the blade comes down in a sharp, roundish angle instead of having this very sharp, I don't know, maybe 45-degree angle over here. That sheath is similar to the Schrade one. It's actually worse. I think it's worse. I think it's worse than the Schrade one. At least the Schrade have some kind of a plastic insert. Rich from True Budget EDC says it looks like, hey Stella, how you doing? Yeah, I know you guys are at work, but for me, this is good. I don't get overwhelmed with a whole bunch of people. So I appreciate you guys stopping by, even to say hi. I understand. Hopefully you could watch this video later today, but thank you very much. So Rich, as I was saying, I think that this is a shittier sheath than the ones from Schrade. I think this is way less quality, but they have a great snap on there. I mean, you could take it off and use it for something else. But would I get a leather sheath? Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't get anything too expensive for this. We're not talking about LT Wright or anything like that. But if you were to get a custom sheath that would fit this, yeah, I say go for it, man. I think it's great. And again, I promise you guys, I think I'm going back tomorrow to those woods, and I will do, and hopefully it's not going to rain and be muggy, because I got to watch my health when it gets that kind of heat and mugginess. But see ya, Stella. Stella's leaving us because she has to go to work, which I completely understand. Again, I appreciate you guys. I know I do this midday impromptu, but this is the way I kind of like it right now. I'm not overwhelmed by people, and I appreciate it. So, and whoever stops by, stops by. This is a great knife, man. I will do videos if I go back tomorrow, which I plan on doing. And I will try and chop some thick limbs, similar to the one I did with the awesome cold steel kukri machete. So, I mean, that thing was a beast, man, and did such a phenomenal job. Yes, True Budget EGC, he's saying that's true, that the Schrade sheaths have plastic in it. This is adequate, again, to keep that blade from cutting you in the skin, but, you know, not their best. I guess I've seen better for 35 bucks, you know, like Schrade. But, you know, the knife I think is phenomenal, guys. I think it's great. Again, hopefully if I go back there tomorrow, I will do a video on this knife, because I think, you know, people should know about this knife, and if it's available to them, should give it a go, you know. All right, now my other awesome tool that I used yesterday was this Silky Gamboy, made in Japan. It's pretty nice, and it did the job. This is the 240. Yeah, we love sharp objects. Isaac the New Backwoodsman says we love sharp objects. Hell yeah, that's why we have these channels, guys, right? And functional objects, you know, things that aren't going to fail, that's important too. So it's a very nice tool, let me tell you. This very efficient tool. Instead of whacking and chopping things, you know, if you have, I'm sure if you're a bushcrafter, you know, having a couple of tools or a few tools on your person, in your backpack, is probably a smart idea than a one tool option. And it's pretty awesome. Has a nice comfortable handle, you know. It does flex a little bit. Kind of wish they had some kind of a steel liner in there, but it's not necessary, you know, because you're just doing a back and forth motion. It's not like you're chopping anything. It does, you can see these notches for the positions, and you have 1 and 2 positions. So this position, you don't have to kind of like bend over as much, you know, or a weird angle when you're trying to cut a limb or something like that. So now it doesn't come with the greatest sheath. It has this piece of plastic, and it has this type of loop, and as you pull on it, you know, it kind of tightens on the cover, and it doesn't come off. Very adequate though, man, I'll tell you. I mean, fits in pretty nice. Closes. Now, these are a little expensive, and I think I got this from Japan, not in the USA, because at the time when I purchased this, these were very difficult to find in the USA. So I'm not sure if they still have them in the USA, but I think I got this off of eBay, which came from Japan. I have 3 of these, and then I also have a Baco, but this is the one I keep in my backpack now. And it was adequate, man. You know, I think it's, for me, it's a perfect size. And 2 is 1, 1 is none. Yeah, no, you're right. That's what the SEALs say. U.S. Navy SEALs, they always say 2 is 1, 1 is none. But that also might be a special operations motto, you know. I did carry with me my Almarcier 2000 and my Swiss Army knife. So I was using all 3 yesterday. And here's some nice fatwood right here that I harvested. And I did a little fire yesterday. Maybe I'll do a fire tomorrow in honor of the Legionnaires out there, you know. I'm not sure if I want to do something live tomorrow, or if I, you know, want to record something, then edit everything. I just kind of enjoy the lives. I think they're pretty cool. You have, all right, Isaac the Noob has his SOG Seal XR today. Nice, Isaac. I like that tool. All right. Don't forget to leave comments, man. Let me know what you guys are carrying. So it is a really nice day here today, man. Really nice day here today. And I'm also carrying my Victorinox Swiss tool. I think way better than any Leatherman that's out there, in my opinion. All right, Jeremy has a Spyderco Manix 2, lightweight and Maximate. Nice, man. Fantastic. I love eBay, LOL. Yeah, I love. Yeah, but eBay lately, you know, they used to have great deals with free shipping and no tax. Now people are just pumping up their prices on eBay, in my opinion. I mean, ridiculous, man. I've been finding way cheaper stuff with free shipping and no tax in like places like Blade HQ and stuff like that. Way cheaper than eBay. People are going insane, you know? People are going insane. And there's no like make offer type stuff, so. But this is a great tool right here, this Victorinox, because eBay takes such a huge fee from the sellers. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, if you guys remember, if you guys look at my community page, I posted a picture that I made that my son purchased for me for Father's Day, the Cold Steel Recon Hawk. Thank you, son. I love you. Big shout out to my boy. I appreciate it, man. You rock, son. But he doesn't watch these videos anyway. He's not into knives as much as I am. My son is more like, I got what I need. That's all I need. He's got like 3 knives in total. And once he has something functional, and that's it. He's pretty much done. He's not a collector like I am, but I have plenty of knives to pass down to him when the time comes. So that's it, guys, man. I mean, this is what I hopefully am going to be using tomorrow. I also have my CRKT T-Hawk in my backpack right now. I just didn't want to take it out, but I still have that in my backpack, and it's a really, really, really beautiful day here. Let me show you guys, and let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Why I can't really be pulling out stuff. As you can see, there's some guy walking over there. There's cars passing by. As you can see, there's a parking lot right there. My car's parked over there. I just got to watch, man. And you'd be surprised how many people will pass just a few feet in front of me. Like the other day when I was doing the live on the Tomahawks, there was a ton of people passing by in front of me, and I was like, oh man. And I was talking too on the, I think it was live or a video I made, I'm not sure. So you got to be careful in places like these, you know. One phone call could get me into trouble, questions being asked. Just got to be careful. I need to tell my son to get a job and buy me a Winkler Tomahawk. Gruggs Jr. Yeah, Gruggs Jr. He's a good guy. He's a good kid. Hey, Steve, how you doing, man? How are you, sir? Me and Wyatt were talking about you yesterday. I was telling Wyatt how awesome your Wyatt Hines custom-made D-Guard Bowie was, man. And we know that you love that thing, man. I think you should make some more videos on it, bro. So Steve Borg Resistance, he has a custom-made Wyatt Hines D-Guard Bowie. Okay, he got burned like I did with some tools that failed. And you know what? He was like, the hell with this. From now on, I'm buying American-made. I respect that. And Wyatt Hines, shout out to Wyatt Hines. You know, he's a custom knife maker and great customer service. I talk to him all the time too, and he's just a good guy. Actually got a knife, 2 knives. Well, 1 knife definitely being made, and a surprise. Hopefully, he's still got to do some stuff on paper for me, but a surprise for everybody. Possibly a knife channel, you know. But I came up with a concept. I came up with an idea. He's going to put it down on paper. And, you know, if you guys like it, you can go directly to Wyatt and, you know, buy the knife from him. You know, maybe customize it your way, you know, if it comes to fruition. So, but I'm definitely going to, you know, think up of, you know, knife for the channel that reflects Legion Tactical Cutlery and my Roman themes. So that's some pretty cool hints for you guys, man. And I'm not going to ask for any money. I don't want anything. You know, Wyatt, you know, hopefully Wyatt will be able to make it available for anybody who wants it, if you guys are interested or not. And you could have him customize it any way you want, whatever, you know. So hopefully that'll work out. So I'm kind of excited about that. No, it's not a gladius, man. It'll be a knife. It'll be something cool. And, you know, he's a busy man, so I told him, don't rush. You know, as long as I'm alive, you know, hopefully we'll get it out on, we'll get it done and made, and then I can show you guys. So I'm pretty excited about it. My idea, and see how I am at the whole design concept. All knives are cool, LOL. True budget EDC and prepping, my man. So it's a really nice day here, guys. It's nice and cool. It's not hot. Yesterday it was crazy muggy, nuts. It was hot. I was sweating like a farm animal, man. I was so uncomfortable. People were asking me if I needed help as I was walking back to my car, and I'm like, no, man, I'm just hot. No knife, no life. So, you know, after that whole incident with the Everest Forge, as a collector, you know, I love collecting knives, but I don't use them, and you could see what happens. I mean, I bought those Everest Forges about a year and a half ago, and I never tested them out thinking that they were awesome. And this is why it's important to test out your knives. So I think I'm going to get into the habit of testing out my knives when I get them, even as a, you know, as a collector. So you might see some more testing rather than just, you know, tabletop reviews. So this was the beater one. I've never tested this out. I wanted to test it out to see if this was junk or not. And I'll tell you guys what, this Elk Ridge knife is not junk, and I will prove it to you. Hey, Grumpy Grunt, how you doing? We got Grumpy Grunt. Another shout out to Grumpy Grunt. How's it going, buddy? Now, I hope that this video, once I'm done live streaming, records in 1080p, because I did a live stream the other day, and it only recorded it in 780, I think it is, and it pissed me off, man. You know, can't get a break with these with this recording. But yeah, I mean, Elk Ridge, I mean, I like the Master Cutlery stuff, man. I like the M-Tech line. You know, not all of them are the greatest thing. Oh, it's Grumpy Grunt's birthday? Really? Happy birthday, man. Go check out Grumpy Grunt. Wish him a happy birthday, guys. I had no idea. Happy birthday, man. So, yeah, I mean, I like M-Tech. I like Elk Ridge. They make some really good budget knives. Some of it's like fantasy stuff, but I stay away from that. You know, I thought that this, when I purchased this, and whatever limited reviews that was on this knife, I thought it was adequate and functional. There are some bushcraft knives from Elk Ridge that I saw that did very well as a budget knife for 25 bucks. I don't remember the name off the top of my head of this particular bushcraft knife, but it's very popular, sold on Amazon and eBay and other stuff like that. And they're decent knives. I mean, other content creators have proven how decent these knives are, and I figured, let me give this one a try. The way it looked, I wanted it for part of my collection, but I'm glad I did test this out, and it came through with flying colors in my book. I mean, this stuff is hard as a rock to chop, you know, and it was a stump. And what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it if I go back there tomorrow, and then I'll add it into the video. But you know, this is an awesome knife. This is an awesome camp knife. I could see, this is a convex grind, I think. No, not convex. It's hollow grind. I'm sorry, hollow grind. And I mean, let's see if we can get this in focus. I don't know if you can see that hollow. Let me see. There you go. It's a hollow grind, and man, did it really bite into the wood. You know, I was iffy on hollow grinds, but no more. I like the hollow grind stuff. And hopefully if it's done right, man, you could really do some serious work with this. So True Budget EDC is saying he wants a Condor Hudson Bay. Yeah, man, grab it. I bet you it's a decent axe. And I'm sure there's plenty of reviews, unlike, this knife. So I'm glad I'm bringing this knife as a review. And tomorrow, hopefully, once I go there, I will take videos of this, doing some chopping in the woods. Another big problem out east on Long Island is ticks, man. Man, I saw a tick yesterday, was like this big around the tree. And I think those things jump on you, right? I'm not sure. But I was wearing jeans and stuff to make sure that stuff didn't, try and climb up or jump on me. And I get nervous about that stuff because I'm already not in the greatest of health. So I got to be careful, but yeah. Very cool, guys. Very cool knife over here. I didn't baton with this. I usually don't baton. I mean, I like it when content creators do baton. At least I get an idea of what the knife is capable of, so I know that you could do it. But maybe I will baton with this tomorrow, just for the hell of it. I have a piece of fat wood that I hid in this location, so I'm that's like my little go-to stash. So I kind of like foraging around for this fat wood because it's awesome. I get to use the knife, test it out. Wyatt announced that he can now do up to a 20-inch blade. Guess who is making my next large Bowie? That was Steve Borg Resistance. Looks like Wyatt is stepping up his game. All right, thanks for letting us know. And you know what, Steve? I'm looking forward when it's done. So, also one of the choppers that I tested out from Everest Forge that failed miserably, the second one, I don't know if you guys remember. I'll leave links in the description that you could check out that video. There were two choppers. One was they called it a Kukri Machete. The other one is the Mukti. The Mukti kind of looked like this, except massive. That I just stabbed into the wood, pulled it out, and the tip was gone. That I don't give a shit about. The second one was a great chopper. The first few times I chopped before the blade warping, I mean, it went in deep, it went in smooth. I mean, the handle was a great feel. I'm sending that to Wyatt. Wyatt wants to check out the steel. He wants to confirm if it's mild piece of shit steel or if it's 5160, which I don't believe is 5160 because 5160 doesn't warp like that on just a few chops. I think, these places in Nepal scam people. They just grab whatever shit steel is out there, and they make knives or kukris or whatever, So, but I'm going to send it to Wyatt Hines, and he's going to try and fix it for me. He's going to try his best to maybe reheat or retemper or whatever it is that bladesmiths do that knife. I mean, very nice of him to even offer, but he kind of wants to see, what that stuff is all about, because on the description on Etsy, it's 5160. And after watching so many content creators, do awesome videos on, knives from Nepal, and, having so much success, I was like, what the hell? And again, I bought this a year and a half ago, That was quite a cool review. All right. But anyway, I'm going to send that knife to Wyatt, and, if he can't fix it, I just told him he can keep it. And he could do a review on it himself, and, he could tell his version of the truth on the steel and stuff like that. Now, I know a lot of people are asking me to complain and, talk to the guy and see if I can get my money back. But you know what? It ain't going to happen, guys, because I've heard so many people, even with popular Nepali-made knives, have trouble. Like one of the content creators, Big Al Bowie, had a huge problem. He did get a little bit of his money back, and he has a video explaining it. And, I'm just not comfortable with buying knives from Nepal anymore. You could try and convince me any way you want. I'm just not doing it anymore. I've got, $500 worth of knives that I feel I got burned on from Everest Forge. Okay, I do have 2 from KHHI, no, 3 from KAHI. I did test all 3. Actually, Scabs did 1 test on one of them, and knock on wood, I got lucky with those. Those are good. They didn't warp. They didn't do anything. So I've got the Preacher. That came through with flying colors. I have the custom Bowie that was oil quenched. I requested an oil quench on that one. That one, Scabs tested out, and he said that by far it was better than that Everest Forge piece of garbage. And what's the other one I have? Oh, I have the Gator Tail. That one also, I was doing all kinds of crazy things, prying and stuff into the wood, and I have a video of that, and it came through with flying colors. Although I know that other people have had some issues with KHI. Hopefully that is been taken care of. I don't know, but for me personally, with my money that I'm going to spend, I will never buy anything from Nepal again. Sorry about that. As you could see from my other video, I tested out a kukri from Cold Steel, 25 bucks, less money than this, and I did the exact same non-abusive stuff with that Cold Steel, and it came through with flying colors, with no chips, no warps, no dings, and that's the way it is, man. And I'm not comfortable buying anything from Nepal anymore. And another problem with stuff from Nepal is if you do get a lemon, they try and give you a runaround, man, and they say you're not doing it right, or I mean, I've heard all kinds of nightmares from content creators. Steve Borg is saying, seems some companies have some bad models. I don't know about models. I love the designs. I mean, that blade that failed on me, that second blade that failed, that was a great design. That thing was awesome. The way it felt in the hand, the way I swung it, the way I was, it was very light in the hand. It was very maneuverable. And when I, before that thing warped, when I was biting into the wood, man, oh man, that thing was phenomenal. So I think, when I get extra cash, I'm going to and if Wyatt can't fix that blade, I'm going to have Wyatt make me the exact same blade, except with his expertise. I don't know if he's going to use 5160, if he's going to use ball bearing steel, or if he's going to use whatever he wants. He's the smith. I'm leaving it up to the man to do it. So I'm going to let Wyatt Hines remake that knife for me, because that design was awesome. And I was, for that, which is so disappointing, because the first few swings, God, man, I was like, yeah, and then, after I pulled it out and inspected it, I was just like, this sucks, man. And that second knife made me more angry than the first one, because now I realized that I got 2 blades that I was scammed on. And here I am thinking that, these things from Nepal are like the best things ever, and they're not. You got to be careful. And another thing is the customer service, man. I know for a fact that I'm not getting my money back. I know for a fact I'm not going to get any refund from Everest Forge, which is kind of strange, because I went on Etsy today, and I did ask this guy for his warranty info, because I'm trying to make it look like I'm trying to buy something. So I want him to admit everything first. And then I'm going to say, well, I got 2 knives and they fucking failed. And, what are you going to do about it? So we'll see what happens, man, But I think it's going to be a waste of time. Plus, they're over a year old, which, they could use all kinds of excuses. And this is another good reason why, guys, that it's probably good to test out your knives instead of just collecting them. But, I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money. I'm not going to tell people what to do with their stuff. You guys do what you guys got to do. It was just a hard lesson for me to learn. So I've got those 2 knives that are total garbage. I have a kukri that I did do a video on. Now, I didn't experience any kind of blade issues, warping, chipping with that, but the horn handle and the glue started to come off. Hey, Water to Field, what's up, dude? What's up? How's it going? This guy's a good dude, Water to Field. Another shout out, Water to Field, man. He puts some funny shit up sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to, you know, that one kukri, it's a genuine kukri with some design on it. It seemed to do okay. I think I'm okay with that one. That one I remember getting off of eBay, but it was still from Everest Forge. And the only bad thing with that thing is just the handle. You know, maybe I'll have Wyatt rehandle it for me. I don't even know if it's worth it. So then I've got two saxes, two Viking saxes. One is a lang sax or a long sax, and I got that from Everest Forge. I don't trust that now, and I'm just gonna keep that as a wall hanger as part of my Viking collection. And I also have this fantasy sax that I got from Everest Forge, and that's the one I'm gonna test. I'm not gonna do a tip test on it, but I am gonna try chopping with it and see if the blade warps or not. But again, I don't trust any of these knives with my life to take out into the field. God, you know, I just don't. I'm just not gonna trust those knives. And I was, you know, pretty hot the other day, so I was going off. Now that I'm calm, now that I'm thinking about everything, you know what I mean? I still wouldn't buy shit anymore from Nepal. I don't care how good it is. I'm just not buying it. I know Donovan too loves knives by hand, and I have physically seen him use those knives on knives by hand. And unless I was given a knife to test, not to keep, but to test, you know, for myself to see its durability, it's something like that, maybe I will change my mind. But the truth is I'm just not trusting anything from Nepal. Now, I do respect Donovan too. I respect what he has to say. He thinks hang up on him for now because I'm doing this live. So I'm gonna, you know, I'm not asking anybody to give me anything. And by the way, guys, every knife that you've seen on my channel, except for one, every knife you have seen on my channel, I've paid for. Okay, I've purchased. Nobody has given me anything. And the one knife that I did get for free was because I was having some issues with Combative Edge. When I first ordered the knife from Combative Edge, my very first one, that Tonto, after 2 weeks, I didn't hear anything. I didn't get a receipt. You know, I had paid everything up front, and I contacted the guy on Instagram, Rob Walker, he's the CEO of Combative Edge, and, you know, he apologized and he sent me a free knife. That's the only knife that I've ever gotten for free. Everything else that you guys have seen on my channel, okay, that I've showed or tested so far, I've paid for with my own money. No influence, no nothing. So it's my money. I've spent it the way I wanted to spend it. I tested out a few knives that failed, and I gave you my honest opinion on it. So if you guys don't like that, there's an unsubscribe button, okay? You know who you are, you guys out there. You can unsubscribe. I have no affiliation with any company, okay? And I love knives. You know, I think they're awesome. I usually pick my knives the way they look and by watching tons of videos and reviews. And again, I'm a collector first, but that kind of burned me a little bit with these knives from Nepal. You know what I mean? So again, if you guys, and you know who you are, you don't like it, the unsubscribe button is right there. Okay? Where is it? Here? Unsubscribe. Right there. I don't care. I want quality. I want quality Legionnaires. I don't need quantity. You know what I mean? So that's the way it is. All right, guys. I think I've been rambling on long enough. I appreciate all you guys that came on and took a look and stopped by. I know I do this during work hours. I kind of like it this way right now. I don't want to be overwhelmed with a whole bunch of people on here. I'm still a little nervous about all of this stuff. You know, I've just been recently showing my face here and there. But, you know, hopefully one day I'll get more comfortable to show up on other people's lives and, you know, hang out with you guys more on visually. And maybe I can do a live, you know, with a day's notice and maybe at nighttime that doesn't conflict with other popular content creator slots. But I really do appreciate you guys. I appreciate the Legionnaires. I know I have a bunch of quality people on my channel. And for that, man, you guys all rock, and I do appreciate it, man. And now, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to enjoy the rest of this day because it's my form of healing, man. You know, I do have some issues, you know, and one of these days I will discuss it because I feel like I need to discuss it. And, you know, that's it. You guys take care of yourselves, man. I wish you the best. Enjoy your day. Try not to work too hard out there, man. And, you know, love your families and stuff, man, because you guys are, the people that I know, you guys are good people, man. All right, guys. Don't forget about our veterans. Hashtag 22 a day. Hashtag 22 a day no more. Right, there's veterans out there who face a lot of challenges, and unfortunately one of these challenges is suicide. I'm going to leave links below, okay, in the description so that you guys can find some help, okay? I can't pop them up on the screen because it's alive. At least I don't know how to do that yet. It would be cool, but I will leave them in the descriptions below. All right, Legionnaires, I love you guys. Let me know what's in your pocket. If you didn't post it on here on the live chat, definitely post it, you know, in the comments below, man. All right, Legionnaires, I love you guys, man. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a great day.